Hello, I'm Dr. Sondra Barber Akins. I'm the author of Journey in Learning and Teaching Science. My book is about much more than learning and teaching science. It's my life story. From the time I was born in Winston-Salem, North Carolina in 1944 to the present day as I make my home in Teaneck, New Jersey, just a few miles from New York City. Most of my book is about the first 18 years of my life. During that time, thanks to people in my home and my schools and in other places, I had many wonderful learning experiences. All of them worked together to impart a holistic foundation and a love of learning and desire to achieve. By the time I graduated from high school, I envisioned myself as a scientist, and I was determined to go to college and major in chemistry to achieve that goal. Many people have asked me, what on earth made you think you could do that at that time? How were you able to stay the course and achieve your goal? How did you manage your family life and your profession? And why on earth would you work into your 70s? Well, I think Journey in Learning and Teaching Science will connect all the dots and answer those questions. In Chapter 1, My Childhood Home and My Most Memorable Homecoming, I tell my readers what it was like to have been away from home for 5 years in California. During that, a great mission had been accomplished. I had gotten my degree in chemistry from the University of California at Berkeley. I'd worked in a cutting-edge science laboratory for a year. My husband had acquired his doctorate in chemistry, and we had a 3-year-old daughter who we were bringing home to see my parents for the first time. I also take my readers on a tour of my childhood home, reminiscing about all the rooms and what happened in those rooms and the kind of relationships we had at home between 1944 and 1962. Chapter 2 is about my family history in North Carolina, and I also talk about our family life in our African American community in the 1940s, the 1950s, and the early 1960s. Chapter 3 is about informal learning experiences I had outside of school. And Chapter 4 is all about my elementary school days between 1950 and 1958. Similarly, Chapter 5 is about my high school learning experiences between 1958 and 1962. I pinpoint various activities and teachers that prepared me for a journey in science. And I also talk about my education in other subject areas while I was in high school. The epilogue of the book, Making a Home, Making a Living, Making a Life, applies to the years between 1968 up to the present time. I think that this book will be of interest to people of many different ages, whether they are interested in science or science education, general education, African American history, or they just want to read a good, interesting book.